Well, praise the Most High today, family. Hallelujah, and praise the highest Yahuwah today. Family, it's a gorgeous day here in the Carolinas. We have a little front that's settled in on us here in the Carolinas, Eastern Carolinas, and we're having a bunch of rain for the next few days, which I'm saying praise the Most High. It's making it a whole lot cooler. Yeah, it's rainy, but praise the Most High for the cool weather. Hallelujah. I do hope everyone else is well. And like myself, you're able to get out and enjoy this day. Getting yourself in some fresh air, some sunshine. Hallelujah. And some good exercise. We do have a grand idea we want to share today, family. It's very important. And I guess you would say all of our ideas are important because it speaks to where we're at in these trying days. In the last days of this present rule or this present power. This present, what's the word? We'll say rule, order. Hallelujah. The idea is called stay unequivocally focused and don't fight your health. Stay unequivocally focused and don't fight your health. And that is one of my challenging words that give me a challenge flipping off my lips. It wouldn't have been no problem 10, 15 years ago. But it's just a challenge. But we still put in our idea, even though it's a challenge. I thought I'd share that. What are we talking about being unequivocally focused today, Robert? We'll see that right there in Romans 9 and 6. For all who are descended from Yasharal are not Yasharal. Uh-oh. That's the problem, Robert. Then we looked at Matthew 12 and 30. He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters. And I like this version also. He who is not with me once and for all on my side is against me, and he who does not unequivocally gather with me scatters. That's some powerful words there, family. So all that say that Yasharal ain't Yasharal. And if you're not gathering with the Most High, you're scattering his sheep. You're not gathering. As he said, he's going to gather us together himself in these final days. But the key and the point is being awakened. The dry bones being awakened. And also in Daniel, it says some will be awakened to everlasting life, and some to what's the word? We'll put it in our idea. We're gonna keep it moving. First and foremost, everybody ain't who they would have you believe they are. Uh-oh, Robert, did you say ain't? Yes, we did. However, it's always a telltale sign who's with or against, who's sticking to the script. Who's with or against, who's sticking to the script. However, it's always a telltale sign who's with or against. It's who's sticking to the script. No matter how much truth someone shares, it only takes one lie to expose who they really are. It only takes one lie, Robert. Yep. We need to remember this and show enough keep this in our minds, in the back of our minds, whenever we listen to anybody. Especially if they have a whole lot of followers and a whole lot of people that undeniably say they the truth. And you can tell about how people start trying to worship them. But the whole point is, family, we must make it the norm in studying to show ourselves approved. And what I mean by this is we study the individual. Yeah, they can say something to us, but we go back to the Most High, to the Ruach HaKodesh, and ask questions. Is this what you're saying, Father? Out of this text? And 9 times out of 10, it's just gonna make common sense. It's not gonna need a whole lot of praying and fasting over. Now, some things may need praying and fasting, especially if you're gonna take it back to that individual, which I have a number of times, and continuing on until I got my answer, which wasn't no answer. And see, that's the whole point. When folks don't want to come forthright with the information that they know, then you just step off. Like the text says, have nothing to do with them. And our words for today are focus, distinction, and unequivocally. Hallelujah. And focus is a center of activity, attraction, or attention. And used in a sentence, the focus of the meeting was identifying our help and not continuing to fight against it. or should we say fight against him? It's a point of concentration. It's what you're concentrating on. Directed attention, the emphasis, what you're emphasizing. And direction sense. Direction sense. And that in a sentence is saying the team lost focus. And we can say that about Yasharal. On the whole, we're waking up to everlasting life, but some of us are falling back to sleep, to the old lie that we've been told for the last 400 years. A state of condition permitting clear perception or understanding. It's a state or condition permitting clear perception or understanding. We're talking about focus here. This is what focus is. It's adjustment for distinct vision. Also the area that may be seen distinctly or resolved into a clear image. It's pinpointing something and sticking there and getting a good eyeball on it and focusing in on it. Now there is something stinking back here. And it just keeps coming through in waves. And it's the place of origin of an earthquake. I thought we'd leave that definition in there also. But distinction is a difference or contrast between similar things or people. So the text tells us you judge folks by the fruit they bear, not by how the tree looks. Hallelujah. And it's so very important, family, these days to make a distinction of folks. And how do we do that, Robert? When they look the same, they saying the same thing pretty much. Go to the Father, the Ruach HaKodesh, who gives us the Ruach of discernment. You'll start seeing little things. Like, I didn't see that before. Thank you, Pop. And it's excellence that sets someone or something apart from others. I like that distinction. And that excellence comes through doing something consistent. And what we're talking about today is sticking to the truth consistently. Not varying, going away from it by no means just because you hear a new doctrine that's being presented. No, I'm sticking to the truth. And how do we ultimately, unequivocally distinguish? By studying to show ourselves approved. We go straight to the horse's mouth. And I hate using that analogy, but we go straight to the book. And what I mean by the horse's mouth is what the Most High already said. What he already spoke. And had folks write down. And unequivocally,